comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestle here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys an update about our YouTube channel going into the year of 2022. But before that happens, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys an update about our YouTube channel going into the year of 2022. Now, 2021 has been a huge success for the channel, considering that we pretty much started off the year around, I would like to say 250 to 300 subscribers. And now, as of this recording, we are just on the cusp of reaching 1.3 thousand subscribers. So pretty much an entire 1,000 subscribers more than what we started off in the year of 2021, which thank you to everyone who had subscribed to our channel in the year of 2021. And we hope to definitely gain a lot of new viewers going into the year of 2022. Now, I'm going to be pointing out 5 big news as terms to our YouTube channel going into the year of 2022. So let's start off with the very first big news. So the first big news about our YouTube channel is involving giveaways. We have been doing giveaways on our channel here and there, not so often, but in the year of 2022, it's going to be exciting because for the very first time ever, we will be doing monthly giveaways. That's right. Expect at least 12 giveaways to happen on our YouTube channel for the year of 2022. So for these giveaways, they would start on the Monday of when the new calendar month begins. So in January, that would mean that the giveaway would begin on January 3rd, 2022, and you guys would have an entire month to basically follow all the rules of the giveaway, and it would end essentially on the following month. So essentially February 1st would be the end date of that giveaway. So the next announcement in terms to our channel involves our content. Not only will we be continuing doing some of our content we've already been doing, such as one top 5 and or top 10 list per month, a ranking video every month, and especially I should also mention we may be upping some of the months to 2 ranking videos a month because you guys seem to enjoy the ranking videos. There will also be some new different kinds of content happening on the channel in the year of 2022, which the one we're going to talk about right now is a brand new series called Pros and Cons, which in the series, of course, we look at a certain topic involving in the Funko world and kind of give the pros and cons involving with that. A couple of examples that are involved with this series is actually, one of them is suggested by one of you guys through our Instagram page, because we did ask about a potential series like this, is flippers on the secondary market will be an episode we will be covering in the year 2022. Walmart as a US retailer, and then another episode coming out in 2022 will be Toys R Us as a Canadian retailer, which will be a huge, highly discussed topic as terms to us Canadians. The next update about our channel is essentially a question that has been asked by a couple of people, and that is, will the podcast continue in 2022? And the answer is yes. The podcast will be continuing in 2022, especially still being on the Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard time slot. Now, I will admit firsthand, a lot of the times the podcast does not generate as much views as some of our videos throughout the week. But that's also to be expected because there is a little bit of a market as terms to essentially people who like podcasts and people that don't like podcasts. And essentially, if we were just about doing a podcast and we didn't care about doing the other content, we'd essentially just move the podcast to Spotify and it'd be simple as that. But because we are trying to expand our channel, we are trying to just appeal to different audiences. So some people might like just our videos, and there are people out there that would also like to listen to a podcast of us talking about different Funko Pop announcements. And I would like to keep continuing that, especially because MD and I still have fun doing the podcast. I feel it won't end until essentially we're not having fun doing the podcast, and I guess 2, when Funko finally decides to announce some Small Soldiers Funko Pops. Also for the podcast, I do feel that we are going to be bringing in some more special guests, which there are a lot of different special guests that I definitely would love to bring on to a Funko Popcast before we decide to say, hey, we're done making the podcast. There's a lot of different special guests that we haven't had on and we would love to have on. So definitely the podcast will still be continuing in the year of 2022. The next update about our channel involves our podcast actually, and it involves the fandom related podcast. Now, it's kind of been a cool little kind of podcast within a Funko Podcast where essentially we take a podcast and discuss about one simple fandom and just go over it, talk about the Funko Pops, and usually for the announcements, we'll announce it on our social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook and kind of give hints and then later announce it. But for this specific announcement video and update for you guys, we will actually be announcing every fandom related podcast that will be happening in the year of 2022, at least so far, because content's scheduled to change. There may be some fandom related podcasts that might not happen. We may add some fandom related podcasts that we aren't going to be announcing right now. But without further ado, here, ladies and gentlemen, is the list of fandom related podcasts that will be happening in the year of 2022. So in May of 2022, the first fandom related podcast will be on Star Wars, the very first Star Wars movie released in 1977, which will celebrate its 45th anniversary in the year of 2022. And we'll be discussing about just that movie, considering we did do an Empire Strikes Back podcast a few years ago. So it only makes sense that for Star Wars being a huge franchise, that we just keep continuing doing separate podcasts on separate movies. The next fandom related podcast will be Harry Potter, which, although it is celebrating its 20th anniversary of the movies currently in the loop right now, we are mainly celebrating because it will be the 25th anniversary of when the first book was released. So in this podcast, we will be discussing about essentially all 7 books / 8 movies as terms of this podcast, and this will be happening in June of 2022. Next up is going to be South Park as a fandom related podcast, which we will be discussing about the series overall, talking about all the Funko Pops, of course. MD Shady is super excited about this podcast, and it will be happening in August of 2022 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the very first episode. This next one may be an unpopular choice for a fandom related podcast, but personally, because I just started maybe playing this game, I'm kind of excited for this podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite will be a fandom related podcast for a Funko Podcast in 2022, discussing about all the different skins as terms to the Funko Pops that have been made. And this podcast will be happening in September of 2022 to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of when the game was released. And the last fandom related podcast that we have scheduled for 2022, ladies and gentlemen, is Coco. Coco is going to be a fandom related podcast happening in November of 2022, which we are super excited about this fandom related podcast, considering that we kind of have a trend going on that every November since doing fandom related podcasts, we have done a Pixar movie. That's going to be a sweet fandom related podcast. The very last update for our channel, and I think it is probably the biggest update we have as terms to our channel, and that is the fact that we will be having 5 days, even though that looks like 10, but 5 days of content every single week. We have been doing 5 days of content here and there as terms to either the week of our birthdays or because it's a fandom related podcast and we do 5 days of content in celebration of that fandom. But every week starting in January of 2022, we will be doing 5 days of content every day from Monday to Friday, videos happening Monday to Thursday, and of course our podcast still being weekly every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I can't wait to start that ride of 5 days of content, and I'm sure you guys are excited that we'll be pumping up more content than ever on our YouTube channel. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this update video about our channel going into 2022, make sure you smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and let us know what your favorite update about our channel was. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.